How you doing, everybody? Randy Richard in the shop. Got a little machine work today. A little kind of a short project. Making a vacuum hose attachment for the X-Carve. It goes right on the side of the spindle mount. It's made out of Delrin. Kind of a quick project, little machining. So hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll be moving right along. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and thanks for everybody watching. Do appreciate it. And we'll be talking to you guys later. All right, thanks. Enjoy. This is what we're making. I'm making this out of Delrin. The OD is 2 3/4 roughly. Then we're going to thread that big hole in the middle, which is offset. And it's got a groove in it. You can see there at the top. So I got this in the 4-jaw. Centered up pretty good. Within a couple thousandths. Okay, so I've got this offset, so I'm just going to explain the way I kind of did this. So in this direction, it should be equal, and this direction is the offset. So what I did is on the low, so I got these close to being equal on each side, and I did use the dial indicator, setting it at 0, and then in about the middle of the jaw. Then I counted the revolutions of the dial and make sure it comes back to roughly 0 over here. That centered that up. Then I'm looking for an offset of 214 thousandths, but you know I could be 225. It anywhere in there is going to work, but that's just what I drew. So over here, I found the lowest spot by rocking it back and forth, set it at 0. And then I want 418, which is 2 times that over here. So 418 thousandths on the dial. And I'm right at 15,617. So close enough, within the thousandth or two, and on my offset. So now we're ready to come in here and drill and bore. Okay, we got Herb's big boring bar in here. We're gonna make it. I think we can do a 50 thousandths cut, the max on this. Yeah, of course it's only Delrin. Put a little mark on the old boring bar so I know where we're at depth. You know, I can hear it. We'll get the measurement. Okay, we're taking the last cut. 68 thousandths. Big cut. The last one was supposed to take 50. I took exactly the 100 out of the bore, so this should work pretty good. Nice stiff boring bar. No flexing, especially on Delrin. Alright, we're to size. We got it at 1.541. Just one over, that's okay. This is a hose thing. It's going to screw up a piece of suction hose. So, we're going to get the lathe set up so we can do the 6mm thread, and I need a grinded tool. So I got my tool bit cut. So here's the thread that we're kind of make inside this thing, and here's my little tool bit I just ground, and should be able to It's not focusing very good for some reason. Anyway, got a really nice little fit in there. It's actually kind of snug, which is okay, I think. And it's going to work out pretty good. Okay, so we're all set up to do the 6mm thread, pitch thread. I got this lathe to go very slowly. I have to leave it engaged, so I have my half nuts engaged. And we're all in the metrics, and we're going to go forward, reverse, forward, reverse. Now, since I ground this to fit the thread form, I've touched off and zeroed my dial on my cross. I'm not even going to use my compound. I'm just going to bring it straight in and cut across. Kind of like doing an Acme and stuff, or square thread and stuff. So I'm just going to come draw it straight in until I get my thread form, basically. So let's see how it goes here. We'll set it around 20 thousandths, and we'll go for it. So 20,000 sounds a little bit heavy. Let's go 10. Yeah, it's a little better. This might be the last one. We'll stop at part way here and take a look real quick. Yeah, a little bit more, I can just tell. We'll have to test it after this one, the hose. Well, it's a nice thread, you know, and if we had been more observant, we would have noticed that this hose is left-hand thread. A left-handed metric hose. Okay, so now we're going to redo this piece and make a left-hand thread. How fun is that? At least we have our tool pit cut. The thread looks pretty good, like it's going to match real nice. With the one exception. So we're going to yank that out and make another one. Okay, we got our tool in and our piece ready, and this is a left hand hose. Left hand. You can see that there. See how you have to turn it the opposite way. Yep. So we're going to have our bit on this side, run in reverse, go on in. Should cut as left hand thread. We're just going to use the cross feed. And no compound, just going straight in because we've ground it to the form of the tool, and then we're only cutting in Delrin, and it will should do okay. Let's see how she goes. There we go. Reversed my feeds so things go the right direction here. Might look a little funny in there. Yeah, now we're right. Okay, we're starting to test it here, and it's starting to go in, so a little bit more. We're almost there. Another test. Yeah, a little more. I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm thinking down to my last pass. I'm just going to make a light one, and we'll see how she fits. Thread form looks really good. I'm amazed, actually. Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. Threads right in. Just right on in there. There we go. We got our thread done. Okay, so we're gonna take that out. That's perfect. I'm just gonna put a chamfer on there, and then we'll be able to take it out, and I'll face that other end up, and we'll be ready to do our milling. So here's our piece. I decided to put a little counter bore on it. Makes it so it kind of lines up a little easier on the top. Bottom I just kind of faced off and cleaned it up with a knife a little bit. But that way I have a flat surface to attach anything to. So this goes in, just in there. It's left-handed. Just spins right on in. Just beautiful. Like it was made for it, huh? And all the way down. Might not go out the other side. Oh no. There we go. Come right out the other side. Just perfect. And it's offset. And we're going to mill that slot in there and put some holes in and get it to mount on the X-Carve. Okay, we got the piece clamped up in the vise here, centered up, and we're going on the thickest part of it, because this is offset. So there's the drawing, and there's the groove we're going to put in. We're going to put this like keyway in there, in the top. First part of it, at least. It's 475 wide, 470. I'm going to go to about 472 actually, 473. I just measured again to make it a little snugger fit. And it's going to be about 304 deep. So we're going to get full contact before we call that 0. And then we're going to go 304. And then we're just going to do this in one cut. So that's a 375 end mill, and we'll move off to each side to bring it to width. So we got the new boring tool in. And I need approximately 3 inches 20 thousandths. That's the exact dimension for the radius I want to cut. but it's just a close, you know, if I'm just with 3 inches is going to work being a plastic thing. So what I did is I just put it down here on the deck, marked around the edge there of the cutter 180, marked again, took my ruler and just measured between there, and it's just a smidge over 3 inches, so it'll be close enough for what this is, and should work out fine. That's how I set it. So this is going to be the first test of the new cutter right there. And I've already spun it. I haven't cut anything with it. I took it up to 800 RPM, and it really runs pretty good. It runs nice and smooth. So we're just going to cut in here a little teeny bit so that the width of the cut, well, we're just going to cut in a little bit so the width of this is about 1 inch. Okay, let's see how this goes. That's 800 and feels pretty good. Bring it down a little bit and we'll touch off. I just eyeball centered it in the y-axis. Yeah, it's just touching, and I'm going to bring it in until I get about 1 inch across there. We'll measure that. A little bit more. There we go, that's 1 inch. So there we'll just make one pass and it should be good. Lock the table. There we go. Now that should match up pretty nice on the radius of the mount. So there you go. I was going kind of fast, so the finish isn't, you know, perfectly smooth, but it's pretty good. I could have fed it by automatic, but you can see how that's a bit of a radius there. At least that's the idea. Okay, I drilled some holes in it with the spacing of the 3 holes that were here. So there's 2 holes there to reach a screwdriver in, and then I put in some just little stainless round head screws I had. And I don't have them countersunk very much. It's not real thick there. It probably could have been thicker, which would have been nice. But it's very solid though, and it's, you know, screwed right on. So then we're gonna screw our hose in there. Hopefully it'll screw right in, because that first screw is really in that first thread, which really isn't in play, fortunately. So we're just going to screw this in. It goes in there, it screws on there so nice. There it goes. And remember, that was a left-hand thread. So there, we're screwed in all the way down. And then, which is really nice. Then it's going to hook up to the pipe up here. Let's plug right in, actually. Then I have a blast gate, and so I just pull that open. And there we go. We'll step a little bit back. You can see. There we go. And this is the in the position it is now, it's the farthest it needs to be, for the longest of the hose. So it should be able to move everywhere very freely. And now we just need to build over here. Now we just need to build something that will go on here that will extend down a little bit for the router. Really, you only need it when you're using the router spindle motor because of the dust from the wood. So it needs to extend down a little bit, a couple, 2.5 inches maybe, and clip on and off somehow, nice and easy, maybe even into the plastic here, I'm kind of thinking. And something easy, so it concentrates the vacuum and collects all the dust. But anyway, that's very clean, came out very nice, very positive connections, and pretty happy with that. So we'll come up with the rest of it. We'll also be going really slow. Let's go 10,000 here, just kind of a scratch pass. Well, that's really good if I didn't run it in reverse, huh? Let's do that. Let's make sure we got our head right here, 'cause there we go.